Topping our news this morning, controversy is brewing in Bullock County surrounding the future of data centers. City of Statesboro leaders and county commissioners held separate meetings yesterday to address the topic. WSAV's Evan Smoke has the latest.
Tuesday night, the Bullock County Board of Commissioners met and discussed a potential text amendment that would essentially ban data centers as a permitted use in the unincorporated areas of the county. Not everyone was on board.
If we want to talk about getting the verification of their power, all the technical recommendations you did, we can build that into the regulation. Or we can bury our head in the sand and hope that this protects us. I don't think that it will.
The measure was eventually tabled for 30 days by a vote of 3-2.
If we place a ban in place, what does that do? I think that the commissioners have some concerns about, we don't want to do an outright ban. And there was some discussion with legal counsel tonight that we could move forward with the language in this text amendment and then go back and add zoning later. And I think that there's some confusion about that.
At the same time Tuesday, the Statesboro Planning Commission met and recommended approval of a zoning change that could pave the way for a proposed 27-acre data center inside the city limits off of Burkhalter Road.
Specifically, this project, as I mentioned, it is just for the zoning. The comprehensive plan does support the office and business district on this location. So for me, specifically when it comes to the zoning, that's the real nuts and bolts of it, is that it follows the comprehensive plan.
Tuesday's zoning recommendation will now go before the Statesboro City Council. A separate application will need to be submitted and approved to build the data center if the zoning is changed. Reporting in Statesboro, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Meanwhile, Effingham County commissioners also faced a packed room as they responded to growing questions about a proposed open AI data center there. While the project wasn't on the agenda, county leaders addressed some of the biggest concerns head on.
Agreements, 0 agreements.
Last month, a spokesperson with OpenAI called the project a done deal, but that changed last night after Chairman Damon Ron said the county has only shared a zoning verification letter with the company. He also said no non-disclosure agreements have been signed, and if someone suspects any county official of wrongdoing, they should report it to law enforcement. We spoke with some attendees at that meeting after the hearing, and they're hearing the latest statements.
I feel like when they actually said there was no NDAs, it kind of made a lot of us actually feel worse, because it means, okay, we at least thought you were at least being held legally, not being able to talk about it, but instead you just chose not to talk to us at all.
We'll continue following this story for you and provide any updates as we get them on air and online. Well, WSAV is your local election headquarters. Early voting is underway across the Palmetto State for the special Senate Republican primary to fill the seat of the late Lindsey Graham. Last night, 4 of the candidates vying for your vote took center stage in Charleston for an hour-long debate on a variety of topics. WSAV's South Carolina State House reporter Keith Savage has a recap.
Why is it fair for other countries to charge tariffs on our products? It's reciprocal trade.
You know, Mr. Norman, I'm going to bring that up about tariffs in this situation right here, because you voted against Trump's tariffs on China's solar companies.
We got to be very careful in a state like South Carolina. We have more foreign direct investment in this state than any other state domestically in the United States.
As the war in Iran continues, the candidates spoke about their thoughts of the conflict.
The president did the right thing to take them out by the air. Now, I trust his generals, Raising King, Jack Keane, and others.
Iran cannot have access to a nuclear weapon. I believe we've seen that, and they can't have it. That's why we're there. But it's time to bring our troops home now.
Iran having access to any capability to create a nuclear weapon is a non-starter. I think the president has been very clear on that.
The candidates agreed on many topics, including ending the filibuster, not allowing foreign advisories to buy assets in the U.S., and putting guardrails up for artificial intelligence. The 4 had views on how to stabilize Social Security.
I think you have to transition from where we are to a system that allows individual ownership.
Fortunately, I think with the Trump administration, we have a backstop for the next generation. With these Trump accounts, I think this is a huge step forward for a personal account that follows the child.
That was Keith Savage reporting. Senator Darlene Graham, who was appointed to her late brother's seat by Governor Henry McMaster last month, was unable to attend last night's debate because she was voting on Senate matters in Washington. Early voting continues through this Friday, with the primary election happening on Tuesday, August 11th. If necessary, a runoff will also be held 2 weeks later on Tuesday, August 25th. You can watch last night's debate in its entirety and stay up to date on political happenings in both South Carolina and Georgia ahead of the November election anytime by visiting our website, WSAV.com/electionHQ.